welcome to VIT Learn. This tutorial is about Spring Boot basics, and whoever want to learn Spring Boot application or started to learning Spring Boot application, this tutorial will help. Following technologies are required or good to know before start learning Spring Boot actually. Java 8 or above, Maven or Gradle, Spring Core, or some knowledge in J2EE technologies. And following technologies are required to run our sample, which we are going to show in our demo. JDK 1.8 or later, Gradle or Maven, Spring Toolshoot or any other IDE. So to run our demo application, like I have shared the GitHub URL, github.com spring guides gs spring boot JIT, and to download STS, this is the URL, springio.tools, and to download Gradle, this is the URL. Before we going to see about Spring Boot, let's just discuss about like brief history or evaluation of enterprise application with respect to J2EE. In the early years of 21st century, websites developed on the Java platform were dominated by JSP servlet and EJBs. Initially, like when the internet was booming at 1995, 96 up to until 2000, there's a need for server-side application development using some programming language, especially like Java or .NET. The real need is like in HTML we develop static pages, and since the internet was evolving and the usage of the internet or websites or even web application, it's predominantly increasing towards like even in the enterprise level or in the normal usage level. There's a need or a requirement more than a static pages. We need dynamic data to populate it or stored in database or in any enterprise storage. So for that need, people use different programming language like Java, .NET, or any other, even PHP, to develop server-side programs. It's coupled with HTML, and that technology was booming in early years of 21st century. So initially, with respect to J2EE, the early years of 2000s were dominated by JSP, Servlet, and EJB. People use web servers like Tomcat and application servers like JBoss and WebLogic. It was getting popular day by day. Since the enterprise level, even in all the enterprises, they were moving into IT, and they required many applications in their environment, and that applications need to be deployed in some servers or using web server or application server. So that kind of infrastructure or that kind of environment was booming in the years of 2000 to 2005. So in the late 2004, JDK 1.5 was released, and that was a real revolution, led to many changes on Java technology platform in 2005. Since the usage was booming that time, in today more than 1 billion application were using Java technologies. So I'm talking about 2005, that time, like it's a time of boom. People like used to write the server-side programs using Java, are used to solve some design problems by some Java design patterns. And these design patterns have some boilerplate codes. For example, creating and connection, closing and connection of any file or database. Those codes are like a single time, one time use, like, or one time written and used throughout the application. So it's kind of boilerplate code. So there's a need where we need to have a reusable code that with higher standard, like that follows some Java design pattern or JTE design principles, and that can be reused when you develop an enterprise application. So that need provided the led the way to develop many Java JTE framework like Struts, Hibernate, Hibernate, Spring in the early 2005-2006. In simple word, the framework is nothing but a Java code or component which have the boilerplate code and followed all the Java JTE design principles ready to use when we develop any JTE application or any Java application. So why we are here talking about a framework is basically Spring is a framework. It have multiple components, and the evolution of Spring in the modern days become the Spring Boot, which is nothing but is rapid application development environment where you don't need all the application server or any web server. Within a single app, you can have all the dependencies run an enterprise application using a single app dependency. All the infrastructure or related to application server are managed by the dependencies of Spring framework itself. So that's a level of improvement happened up until these years. So this is the basic of evolution of the enterprise application JTE level. So let's move on to see what is Spring framework actually. Actually, initially, it was a new approach to get rid of traditional programming model. The Spring has made of unpopular. Initially, it was an unpopular technique, which is nothing but the dependency injection. I will explain or I will show what is dependency injection while running our demo. So, Spring Core is built on a concept called dependency injection, which is nothing but one of the JTE pattern called design pattern called inversion of control. Okay, Spring Boot. Spring Boot, the Spring framework evolved until Spring Boot now, which is nothing but a framework for rapid application development. Spring Boot offers a fast way to build application. It looks at your class path and at the beans you have configured, makes reasonable assumption about what you are missing and add those items. With Spring Boot, you can focus more on business feature and less on infrastructure. It reduces lots of development time and increases productivity. It avoids writing lots of boilerplate code, annotations, and even XML configuration. It is very easy to integrate Spring Boot application with its Spring ecosystem like Spring JDBC, Spring ORM, Spring Data, Spring Security, etc. Let's move on to our demo. Today in this demo I'm going to show you a simple Spring Boot application. Very simple Spring Boot application. Before showing the Spring Boot application, I am going to explain about the dependency injection. As I explained earlier, like it's required, like if you know Java knowledge, it will be easier to understand this better. So normally in our Java, we have a classes and instance variable. So in this example, you're seeing a class called hello controller, and it has an instance variable called hello, which is of the type hello, which is nothing but then another class. It's an instance variable, and we are using this instance variable inside a method index and calling one of the method of that hello class here. So normally in any Java application, this dependency, in this class, this instance variable is dependency. So this dependency will be initiated like with a new command. For example, we usually will write hello equal to new and hello. This is how we, as a Java programmer, you will do or initialize any variable, instance variable of type any class. So this one we are doing an injection after the in the runtime, right? When this method is executed, this will be initialized. But in case of dependency injection or inversion of the control, this dependency is injected by the framework itself in an inverse way. In the time of runtime, that's done by the framework itself, the Spring framework itself. So the framework should know this should be injected while in the runtime. So for that purpose, we have an annotation called AutoWire. So this AutoWire denotes that like this hello instant variable will be injected in runtime equivalent to this statement. So this is a simple example of inversion of control or dependency injection. There are types of dependency, like types of ways to inject a bean. Usually we call this as a bean, like any class which is of value object or injected towards any class, we call it as a bean in Spring actually. So there are different types of ways we can inject, either auto wiring or through type, or there are multiple ways. So that's the Spring Core framework is about actually. So this is the basic of Spring Core dependency injection. So now I will explain about the our current application, which is a Spring Boot basic application. I have mentioned the URL to download the code in one of the slide. After downloading, in the STS or any Eclipse, any IDE tool, import existing, you select existing Gradle project, click next, and if you see here, if you browse, there will be a folder called complete. When you download the source code, there will be a folder called complete. Select that complete folder and click on finish. If you do that, a application called Spring Boot application will be loaded with all the class part with this with the shown structure. So in our application we have three classes: application.java, hello.java, which is nothing but our Vivo class, and hello controller. So basic of Spring Boot, like the main annotation of Spring Boot is nothing but as Arch Spring Boot application. This Arch Spring Boot application have Spring Boot application have multiple annotation inside it. at Spring Boot configuration, enable auto configuration, component scan, retention and document and inherited. So all these annotations are combinedly made as a single annotation called Spring Boot application. So each one of the annotation serves a different purpose. Like this Spring Boot configuration will check for the configuration Java file and load all the configuration. This enable auto configuration will load all the other auto configuration files, even the XML or any config Java file will load all the bean. This component scan will scan all the component and wire the component wherever necessary and wire the service which are used. Wire in the sense like I explained about the dependency injection, right? It will inject automatically while starting our application. It will inject automatically its value of that bean. It will inject throughout our classes. So this single annotation Spring Boot application will serve all these annotations. So we have a static main method here. This is the application class will have the static main which we are going to run. While running this, the Spring Boot application starts. Automatically the framework code will configure all the bean and load all the bean in the class path and inject all the bean in the required classes, and appropriate classes servlet will be available for use. Hello controller is one of the REST controller here. REST controller is another annotation which is having at controller and response body, which is this REST controller annotation is used to denote a class as a REST service. So here we have a method called index and we have a path slash. So we are exposing a REST web service which is of the type get. So that is what this class is doing. And hello is a VO class, and we have a string name Tandikachlar, and it has a getter setter method, and this get name will be invoked in this index. So let's start our application. So the purpose of this application is, like as I explained about the dependency injection and the Spring Boot application annotation. So when we start our Spring Boot application, I will show the log, like it will load all the dependency it will load all the classes required beans. It will inject all the beans, and this allow controller will be, since it's a REST controller, will be available for our use as a REST service. So to know about REST service, please refer one of our other video about web services. So I am starting our application. So it's loading all the required dependencies, and as I told you, Spring Boot application having a default application server or web server inbuilt in it. We don't need any infrastructure like web server to install it. Just running a single class, you have this Tomcat application server or web server available for you. The default port, it will be looking upon 8080. So I am loading that localhost 8080. So that corresponding page is response is greeting from UAT LAN. you are able to see in our web page actually. So that servlet is initialized here. That's it in our basic introduction video actually. It's an introduction about the Spring Boot application. Hope you learned something in this tutorial. Please subscribe our channel. Thanks.